showing Foster in the record.
We have some fireworks outside the ground. Maybe we'll see a few fireworks inside it.
Yeah. I presume that's next door.
There's a rugby league game on next door, so perhaps they're a couple of seconds ahead of us. Certainly stirred the crowd up.
So umpire Forster with the ball, and away we go. Vital game certainly for the Sydney Swans. A win tonight, and they're in the top 5 for the first time this season. The Rucks go to it. Williams off hands, and Williams may have been held without it or taken high. In any case, he's going to get a free kick. So Greg Williams, one of the prime movers, has the ball alongside the centre circle. Like warfare at the present time as he goes down towards half-foot. Parsons up, Lee's behind. Tidy's up for Richmond, sends play towards the outer side wing. Mitchell leads in the race out there. In close attendance is Bayes, and the ball spills across the boundary line. Will have a throw in. Bayes doing well as a defender in recent weeks. That'll be an interesting assignment tonight, manning up with the elusive Michael Mitchell as the boundary throw in. One forward by Smith. Close to the boundary line, it's taken by Mitchell. Mitchell goes with the left foot inside 50. They compete. Parsons the leaper. Healy behind. Feeds out the hand pass. Opportunity though for Palm. Bolton slides over. At close quarters gets it to Carroll. High up and under. It travels about 25 metres. James at the fall of the ball. Almost the mark through his fingertips. They battle behind. Lambert at the base of all of that. It comes to Waitman. But in the meantime, the umpire's called for it.
Interesting move there. Parsons lining up in the full forward position. He did all his work at North Adelaide in the forward pocket, and Redden did all the ruck work.
Well, we see number 4 there. That's Lambert wearing Mark Eustace's number, so he's been given a promotion insofar as numbers concerned. And the umpire has found a free kick, and it's going to Parsons. And Parsons will take the free kick. He's right on the 50-metre line at the moment, but he'll kick from a lot closer than that. And Parsons has the chance to put the first score on the board, and it would be a valuable one for the Swans. 35 out. Goal umpire indicates only one behind, so we'll put that down as a bad miss. Parsons well within kicking distance, and the Sydney Swans open the batting in the first 2 minutes of the contest. The fireworks, it would appear, have ceased, and we can be thankful for that. Lees with the socks down, shaping up as a pretty solid sort of a full-back for Richmond. Did a great job on Rhys Jones when we saw the Tigers last. Mitchell fires out the hand pass. Healy, always dangerous. Back to Mitchell. In turnover to Potter, who fumbles at the crucial moment. But it wasn't the greatest of hand passes. And it's going to be a boundary throw it inside the 50-metre line. Left half-forward flank for the Swans. Goodwin, number 24, contesting with Parsons. Over the top is Wilson. Is that a mark to Mitchell? It is. He's claiming it. Barely travelled the required distance, but he's 65 metres out. Goes for the torpedo. Spirals it into goal. Great kick. That's a goal. So a great goal kick by Barry Mitchell, and the Swans lead by 7 points.
Murphy to Mitchell again. Bolton works it forward, out towards left half forward. Wilson left it behind. Reclaims it. Battling there with Potter. The umpire will ball it up. So Mitchell, a long bomb to start proceedings. Sydney by 7 points. There's the bounce. Henwood up and wins it down. All Richmond. This is Wilson. That's ambitious, trying to go back through the pack. Gets it across to James eventually. James swings it out wide. Over the top, Roberts knocking away from Michael Pickering. And the ball goes out of bounds. A lot of play on that side of the ground. No reason for it, really, because the breeze is negligible tonight. Goodwin and Smith will do the ruck work. Neither of them all that tall. And probably that's the motive behind having Parsons at full forward. Tommy Hafey can get away with Smith on the ball tonight because he's not sacrificing any inches at all. In fact, he's got an advantage there as the umpire moves across to ball it up. And they've got to generate goals tonight. There's Ryan on the bench, looking intense. Bounce down midway between left half forward and left centre wing. The Sydney Swans have done all the attacking so far. Smith goes up, wins it wide of the pack. Opportunity for Wilson close to the boundary line. Pulls it back across his body into the path of McKellar. He tracks it around the outer side. Tries to flick it back to accommodate Free and succeeds.
Free. Richmond swing into attack for the first time. It's all the Swans though. Cordy grabbed high by Mitchell will take the free kick. So Neil Cordy at the left half-back flank. Plays staying on that side of the ground predictably. Bolton marking centre wing. Wakeman not giving him an inch. He gets around the 200-game veteran. Long kick to half forward. Plenty of Richmond players there. Pickering came down with it. Don't really know that he had first touch, but it's Michael Pickering's ball. Tui underneath it. Fires out a hand pass ultimately to Williams. Over the top of McKellar. Chance for Roberts. Didn't bounce kindly to him. Mitchell flings it further forward. Chance for Henwood. Caught by Laffey and well caught. Drops it. Comes up with it again, holding the man. Richmond free kick. Goes to Michael Pickering once more. Straight down the ground this time. 3 Swans up. No Tigers. Some good tackling in there. Dispossessed was Ryan. And pushing the back, says the umpire. Free kick going the Swans' way. It'll be taken by Lloyd. Lloyd just short of centre field. And Sydney doing a lot of the attacking so far. Up in front was Wilson. Gathers the crumbs nicely. Boot to ball quickly. Over the head of Bolton. Courage shown there by Mitchell. Long hand pass. Pickering in the thick of things. The 2 Pickerings are there. Justin does the shepherding. Michael goes for the pass and he's found Lee on the 50-metre line.
There's a take your pick. There's Lee on the outer side then. Mark Lee. They've experienced there.
Well, the matches we've seen recently, Dennis, he started at full forward and then gone into the ruck, hasn't he?
Yes, pretty well too. There's Carter scrambling it out of defence, but only as far as Free. So Free has this ball across half forward, wants to play on, long back towards full forward. Ball hangs in the air and the mark is taken up the top by Smith. Read at best. Comes to the members' side. Pym couldn't hang on. First onto the ball. McKellar slung. Pym, but it's holding the ball. And the free kick will be taken at half-back by Murphy. Wasting no time. Sends it high towards centre wing. Henwood is there. Palm, an opportunity behind, collides with Henwood. Brilliantly played by Henwood. Deft deflection to Williams to Carroll. Carroll runs to right half forward. Long kick down towards full forward. Parsons going back. And that's a very good catch. I say catch. They played on, but the mark to stand. And it was more a catch than a mark. The hands were there early, like a cricketer.
Oh, he's like a deep third man for that one, running with it.
Yes. A former basketballer of the highest order, Michael Parsons.
And what a great passage and what a great build up there by the Sydney Swans. Away Henwood battled on, got it across to Carroll, who was running well down from the half-back, and a beautiful kick, which he is, Dennis Carroll. And that's the way you've got to get the ball down there quickly, so the forwards are one out and Parsons had the height advantage on Lays.
And he's looking dangerous, Michael Parsons. A kick from 15 metres out. He's already got a behind. Now he gets a goal.
So Parsons has 2 shots at goal for the conversion rate of 50%. 1 goal, 1. Here's credit, and the Swans doing it well so far. Richmond yet to score. And they've been winning it well out of the centre. This is Kellett. To right half forward flank. Mitchell, about his 4th possession, onto Healy, inside 50, shoots, could be their 3rd. All clear. Great running goal by Healy. He'll be strutting his stuff over at Subiaco on Tuesday in the State of Origin game.
He's a class player, Gerard Healy. He's tough in the right sense of the word. He can carry an injury, he can give it out when it's required, and he's got skill, he's got endurance. He's just about the complete football, Gerard Healy. He started off as a goal sneak and a very good one at Melbourne, and has developed into a real solid customer. Number 3 for the Sydney Swans.
Parsons, Healy and Mitchell, the goal kickers so far. The Swans lead by 19 points.
Runs back in the centre. Football's a remarkable game. It took them 2 hours to get 2 goals last week. In the opening minutes of this game, already 3 on the board for the Swans. Palm with an opportunity. Lee wide of the congestion there. Free leads back in the race. Harris by Kellett. Picked up by Tui. Clever hand pass. Opportunity for Healy. Surrounded. Crashing in was Waitman. Down went McKellar. And he's going to get the free kick. So McKellar inside the centre square. Back towards half-back. Kicks out wide towards left half forward. Why, I don't know. Sydney have got the numbers. Well played. It got to the ground and Williams. Opportunity now. Carroll. Long kick down towards half forward. The ball hangs in the air. Fisted away well by Lee. Is leading back in the race is Wilson. He's content to force it behind, but the kick coming out of the middle there by McKellar went high and really gave the Swans an ideal opportunity. Murphy played it well to get it down to Williams.
This is Lees. He's had his hands full in the first few minutes of this quarter. There's Parsons down there at full forward. That's a good long kick. Lee, obviously now in the ruck for Richmond, and has come out of it with a free kick. Mark Lee, at left half back, decides to centre the ball. Sensible tactics when your side's down 3 goals in the first 10 minutes. Michael Pickering, he's been their best player so far. Free, down to half forward. And this is Richmond's first real chance as Nichols takes the grab. First real chance to get a score. You can see the distance there. He's on the far right of picture. He'll be kicking from round about 40 metres. So one of the young Tigers directly in front. Shouldn't miss from there. And he hasn't. It's a goal.
Well, Trent Nichols wearing number 2, a number made famous in recent years by Barry Rawlings. Barry now on the selection committee at Richmond.
22, Don.
22, I'm sorry. 22, and we see here on screen the little left footer from Sandy Bay, only 19 years of age. Came up through the under-19s and an All-Australian Teal Cup rover.
Well, we saw him play a great game, didn't we, against Carlton recently? When the Tigers blitzed the reigning premiers, knocked down by Smith. He started well. So have the Swans. Williams is in everything so far. 30-metre hand pass down to Carroll. One of his long kicks is pretty close. It's a goal.
26 plays 6. Great start by Sydney. Smith down to Healy. Towards half forward goes the kick. Brilliantly gathered by Mitchell. Superb evasion. Gets it across to support. Potter goes down, but not before he got the ball to Neagle. Neagle 50 metres out. Pulls it back across his body. One out contest. Lees almost the mark. The ball goes through for a behind.
You see the runner, the Richmond runner out there, Paul Carey, talking to Michael Laffey. Maybe Richmond are about to make a change, or he's out there telling the players to tighten up.
Sydney looking very potent up forward. As the kick comes in, Potter slaps it towards the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in out there. Just under 15 minutes remaining in this term. Sydney 9th on the premiership table, a record of 6 and 7. Richmond come in 14th, 3 and 10. Henwood wins it down. Laffey can't control it, picks it up though. Hand passes towards the boundary, brilliantly gathered by Healy. He's been superb so far. 50 metres out from goal. Centering kick. Lee's in best position going back, couldn't hang on, and the ball again crosses the line. Another force behind.
1 point to the Swans total. 28 plays 6, so 8 effective scoring shots to 1. It's been a great start by them. And, that's the veteran Craig Davis. Wilson this time kicking in. Wobbly punt kick. Doesn't travel that much distance. Ball hits the deck. Comes Nichols. Tui. Scragged by Lee. Murphy gathers in well. Beautiful interception out there, and the ball on the ground again. Pym tries to get it out. Now it's finally Justin Pickering. Lovely smother. Roberts up to half forward. Clean bowls Goodwin. Wilson into all sorts of trouble. Good tackle Carroll. Long hand ball into the centre. Pym again. One of the young Tigers who's done so well in recent games. Finally booted further forward for Richmond by Nichols. Left half forward flank, that's about as far as it's going. Cordy to centre wing. Williams must be about his 8th or 9th possession so far. Onto Murphy. Swans running in numbers at midfield. Long kick by the captain. Carroll's kick to half forward, though not sufficiently well placed as it could have been. A good safe mark in defence.
This is James up towards half back. A high kick towards centre wing. Smith in from the side. Should have taken the mark, but wins it on the ground. Back towards half forward goes the kick. James again in from the side. Couldn't hang on that time. Healy once more. Healy 40 metres out from goal. Pulls it back. It looks pretty close. Couldn't miss by much. Behind. The Swans move along to 4-5. Richmond to goal.
And Richmond have brought David Honeybunny lined up in the forward pocket beside Jeffrey Hogg, but now he's at centre half forward, and the Richmond forward line is very open with only Hogg and Carter on that particular line.
Lees going straight down the middle. Off hands. Mitchell has been lively so far. Brilliantly worked that ball through the congestion. Carroll couldn't grab it out there. Down goes Potter. With him Lambert. And the Ball will be bounced about 40 metres out from the Swans attacking goal. Richmond have made, what, just one sortie into their forward line so far. That resulted in a goal to Nichols. Here's the bounce then. Almost interference to Parsons. Slapped wide of the pack by Lee. Michael Pickering sells a dummy. Swings it out wide. The high floating kick. Tui. Williams. It's Williams who gathers the ball. Breaks away. Sweeping hand pass taken by Mitchell. Feigns a hand pass. Now measures one. Inside to Bolton. Taken by Lloyd. Back to Bolton. Bolton 35 metres out. Kicks a goal for Sydney.
And 5 different Sydney players have kicked their goals so far. And they've won it out of the centre just about every time. Well, good hip and shoulder by Mark Lee. Now Waitman. Haven't seen much of him so far. Waitman to Lee. Good bump by Smith. Fumbled by Justin Pickering. Nichols backs him up. Mitchell gives it over to Free. They could score here. Long right footer. Bounces through for a goal. Well, a badly needed one certainly for Richmond. Kicked by Tony Free. The other goal kicker was Nichols. 5-5 to 2 goals.
Well, it mightn't have been a goal had Andy Goodwin in the forward pocket not used his body well on that occasion. It was a high ball. It dropped in the goal square. We'll see here on replay. Mitchell again. Across to Free, the high ball. And there underneath, Goodwin using his body. And Richmond have made a change. McKellar going off and coming on Bauer. And he's going down to the back line. So somebody obviously will have to move up forward for Richmond. And there's the change.
Lambert.
Lambert going forward.
Back into the centre. Smith doing well at the bounces so far. Richmond, though, get it out, or they almost did. Free's kick was smothered. Now Pym has the chance. And he travels about 10 metres. Off the ground. Wilson charging through from half back. Oh, beautiful smother by Cordy, but he's got another chance. Long hand pass intended for Pickering. Good smother by Roberts, who reads the play just that little bit better. Back to Mitchell. And turn over to Tui. Game number 150. Shortish kick in towards midfield, and the mark taken by Palm. A little bit short of the midfield area. Closer to half back. A lot of play, as Dennis said, on that outer side of the ground for no reason. And Pickering, a juggle. No, not played by the umpire. A hurried hand pass on the shoulder. Free kick.
Michael Pickering has this ball down towards half forward for the Tigers. Swans looking very slick so far. Pickering goes towards the pocket, honouring a lead from Hogg. It bounces awkwardly for him, and Carter pushes the ball across the boundary line and follows it across as Hogg appeared to push him in the back. We'll have a boundary throw in. Inside 50 in the forward line for Richmond. 10:06 and counting down. Over the top, Bays, wide of the pack. Gathered by Free. Interesting duel in the middle, Free and Williams. This is Lambert, surrounded. Still it's Lambert, well played by the young fellow. Measures the hand pass back to Free, right on the boundary line. That's the impossible angle. And he misses to the near side. He's a willing worker, is young Tony Free, prepared to run hard. Obviously, he and Williams playing well wide of each other so far. Tony Hafey looks on pensively, but he'd be happy with this start. Certainly after last week. Carter finds Mitchell with a short pass. One of the quality rovers of the VFL. Still bothered by that right knee. A very courageous player. Brings it members side. Carroll the leaper. Opportunity behind for Wilson. Has the ball on centre wing. This is Pym. Pym does nicely. Kicks back towards half forward. Waitman. Clever deflection into the path of Lambert. Lambert at left half forward. Runs inside 50. Lambert. Breaking goal square. Getting back. The defender can't get there in time. Smith, it bounces through.
So a comeback by Richmond after they were blitzed in the opening minutes. 8 goals kicked so far. 8 different players. Palm up to the right half forward flank. Free again in, or behind actually now, as it turned out. Tui struggling to come up with the ball. It's going to be a bounce just off the edge of the square. Very much a Melbourne night weather-wise. Clear skies and a little bit of dew developing down there on the grass now. Only 13 degrees when we started the match. Lloyd. Hand pass to Healy is effective. Wobbly punt kick up to half forward. Good knock away by James. Opens it up for 2 players, Wilson and Laffey. Nichols fumbles. He'll try to get it to Lambert. Does so, pushing the back, but the advantage rule paid. Laffey from right centre wing. Shocking kick. He'll have to sharpen up that aspect of his game. And he's got another chance as he dives on top of it. Cordy And out of bounds. Boundary throw in. Right half forward flank for Richmond. About 60 metres from their goal.
Be interesting to see whether Greg Williams picks up Lambert, who's now playing in the centre after that goal, or whether Williams is just a completely offensive player.
I think you might be right the second time around. Donny's had a lot of possession so far, hasn't he? Mark missed by Murphy. A good balk gets him out of trouble. Healy relays play to the member stand side for one of the rare occasions tonight. An opportunity down there for Hogg. Carter wearing him pretty closely. Comes up with the ball. Lovely smother from Healy. It's out of bounds. Left forward pocket about 10 metres from goal. So a real chance for Richmond's fourth goal now. After the Swans at one stage led by that margin, but it's 5-5 to 3-1. Goodwin and Smith. Now a chance for Hogg onto the right foot. Was that touched off the boot? Won't matter. Through for one behind to the Tiger total. So 3 goals to Richmond, trailing the Sydney Swans 5-5, 15 points for difference.
Big effort this by Richmond, working their way back into the game. Jeff Hogg coming into this game with 41 goals for the season. As Cordy favours the outer side and Bayes takes the running mark at left half back. Just over 6.5 minutes official remaining in the term. Mark Bayes on the outer side, a high kick towards centre wing. Wilson over the top, fisting away. Healy forward. Honeybun brilliantly gets it down to Nichols. On the burst, Nichols goes down towards half forward, but in front the mark is taken by Cordy. He's claimed by Waitman. Could almost be 50 metres, not according to the umpire. Cordy was listed to start at full forward. So far in recent weeks that move hasn't really worked out for the Sydney Swans. Kellett towards half forward with a high kick. Carroll. Michael Pickering well tackled by Neagle. Ball yard free. This is Roberts 50 metres out. He pulls it back. In best position down there is Bauer. Couldn't hang on. Coming through Parsons. He's slung. Spinning out of the congestion there is Lambert.
Beautifully done. Lambert's kick up to the half forward line. Smith late on the scene. Mark free kick whatever to Michael Pickering. He's been a busy player so far in this term for Richmond. James on the run close to the boundary line. Loping action as he puts Richmond into attack. Carter high with the one hand. The thing is, where was the other one? In the back of Hogg, says the umpire. And Hogg will take the free kick right on the 50-metre line. So it need to be a good kick from there, but we have seen them successful that distance out. A chance for Richmond's fourth goal. And the 9th player on the ground to kick a goal tonight. Kellett. Well, Mitchell sharks it, shoots, and has put it through for a goal. Great kick. Well, Michael Mitchell, the impossible angle, and Richmond draw even closer.
Well, it was quite unbelievable, really. We see here on replay how Kellett won the ball, but what a sharp shot there by Michael Mitchell. Here's the ball, a high one from Hogg. Now the Sydney Swans fellows are underneath. Well knocked away there by Smith. Kellett tackled. So credit must go there. You can't blame Kellett. The credit must go to Trent Nichols for tackling. And Michael Mitchell followed up, or finished that off very, very well.
So after Sydney appeared to be in for a very easy night, Richmond have pegged them right back. And they won't want to underestimate this Richmond side. Honeybun to half forward. And Richmond swing into attack again. Tui across the half back line with plenty of dash drive the Swans forward.
Marvellous stuff by Bernard Tui. Out wide with a kick. Down goes Neagle. Michael Pickering feeds it wide. This is James. Over the top. Wilson. Wilson runs towards centre wing and boots towards half forward. Coming out in front is Waitman. Couldn't hang on. Nichols crashing his way through Potter. Williams does well. Wide of the pack. Kellett claimed by Lambert. Hand pass over the top from Lloyd into the path of Potter. Got an awkward bounce. Wilson wanted that ball more. Got it to Nichols. This is Pym. Pym runs through the middle. Kicks it out wide. Up goes Hogg. Fisted away by Carter. Opportunity forward of the pack. Free. Gets around Kellett. Can't get around Honeybun. Bounces off his teammate. Long down towards full forward. He's off target. Cordy tries to knock it back and succeeds in doing that. It's a behind.
So Richmond doing all the attacking. They only trailed by 8 points. And the time on in the first quarter, and with Rod Carter. He had it easy in the first few minutes, did Carter. And the rest of his teammates across the defence line. What a mark! Great grab to Murphy. That will be close to grab of the night as we watch it in replay. What a mark. And landed very heavily. So they don't mess up their good work. This is Smith And here passes on. The Swans go forward through Cordy. Forward running is David Bolton. He's already kicked 1 goal. He won't score with that one, but Parsons could from this mark. Oh. Another finger tipper. That's his second. He's taken like that tonight.
I think Lees has reason to be a bit disappointed if we watch that in replay as the high ball comes in.
Well, here it is, Dennis. Let's see if it's a clean grab. It was.
He was almost tackled Lees before the ball arrived though.
Parsons shoots from 15 out and his goal. Now his tally so far is 2 goals, 1.
And that move obviously paying off at the moment for Sydney. And it's interesting the way they get the ball from the 50-metre line. We see here the build-up. It's not a really good kick there by Bolton. You can see the ball flying through the air and it's drifting to the left of the goals there. And Parsons in front, able to read it just a little bit better than Lees, who slipped over at the crucial moment.
Parsons, the first player on the ground tonight to score 2 goals. So 10 goals scored so far in the first quarter. 6-5 plays 4-3. Shaping up as a pretty high-scoring game and certainly a good one. Knocked down by Smith. He tackles Free, and Free might get up with such. Not so, says the umpire. Will be a bounce just wide of the circle.
Actually, that was good play there by Tony Smith. He got the knockout and then followed up. But what a lot of ruckmen don't do is follow up. And Smith did that and was able to put the pressure on the opposition rover. Well done.
Kevin Bartlett. Bounce alongside the centre circle. Lee is up, wins it down. Michael Pickering hooks it down towards centre half forward. Over the top, Nichols. Off hands Lloyd in deep trouble, surrounded by Tigers. Eventually Lloyd gets his second opportunity. Bayes with the right foot. Smith knocks it wide, taken by Murphy. Run down by Pym. Mitchell into the path of Kellett. Harassing him is Wilson. Well played by Peter Wilson. Wilson runs towards half forward, hooks it down towards the 50-metre line. This is Nichols right on the boundary line, held a long time in the tackle, socket off the ground by Goodwin, taken down there well by Toohey, a bit off the ball as it scrambled out of defence. It was Lloyd. That's what's going on behind Goodwin and Toohey. Meantime, Wilson's got it again, sends it back towards half forward for the Tigers, taken now by Honeybun. High kick down towards the kickoff line. A lot of jostling down there. Hogg and Carter waiting behind an opportunity for Justin Pickering. Down he went, showing a lot of courage. Hogg diving on the ball. Michael Pickering didn't miss by much. Behind.
1 point. It's shaping up as a top game. 6-5 to 4-4. And not too long left in the opening term. Pickering taking his place up around the half-back line as the kick comes back into play to the member side, though. Williams, a hand to it. Started off in sensational fashion. It's about his 8th kick so far. Up towards centre wing. Plenty of weight being used there. Laffy copped one. The Swans go forward through Henwood. Long hand pass. Carroll. One bounce onto the 50-metre line. Attempted smother by Waitman. Not successful. And it will be through for one behind.
Interesting, the Western Australians there involved in a little pushing and shoving. Henwood, Harm, and also Wilson.
Just shoving, Don.
Well, they were handing them out, Peter.
Lees, again preferring the outer side. Down it comes to Mitchell. Dummy was effective. The fumble wasn't. Bauer. Free. And the umpire falls down. This is Honeybun. Well shepherded. Finally it's Kellett who wins through. Short of right centre wing. The pass effective to right half forward. Mitchell fumbles. He doesn't do that too often. Carroll gets it back to him. Playing well, Dennis Carroll. Long kick by Mitchell. Into the goal square. Can they get a score? Is that a push in the back? Kept in play by Potter. Neagle, a chance but a fumble. Good pressuring by the Richmond defenders. Bolton shot. Will it count? It hits the post. I think it will be a point. It is. So one behind, right on the siren to the Sydney Swans, who lead at quarter time 6-7-43 to 4-4-28.
It's the start of the second quarter at the Sydney Cricket Ground. 15 points the difference Sydney's way. Lee goes up and wins it for Richmond. Into the pack goes Lee. Ball came out from Mitchell to Pickering. Wide to Wilson. Wilson going down towards half forward. Not a particularly good kick. Off hands, an opportunity for Hogg. Hogg is about 40 metres out from goal. He pulls it back, I think with intent. And he found Goodwin down there, only about 15 metres out from goal on a very slight angle. And I think Hogg had the presence of mind to look up. Initially, I think he was thinking of going goalward, but saw Goodwin, who had a break of about 5-10 metres. The man that was marking him. So Andy Goodwin, one of the honest workers of the VFL, without question, an opportunity to kick a goal here. Will be a good start for Richmond if he gets it. It looks pretty good. It's a goal.
Well, Andy Goodwin there, he looks like a boxer, a heavyweight boxer. Got a mouse under the eye there. That is probably courtesy of Bernard Toohey in that first quarter. Here it is again. Now, the interesting thing was the way Michael Mitchell got there. He is there. He initiated that play. The way he ripped into the pack up on that centre square. A quick handball out. Then he's so quick he can get back into play. He's a very underestimated player, as is that man on screen there. A real worker, Andy Goodwin. You can see the eye just about closing up there,
isn't it? Well, some one-eyed supporters out there. They might have a one-eyed player very shortly. 6-7 to 5-4, and Richmond looking much better with Mark Lee on the ball. Loses that one out to Smith. Not a good hand pass though. It does open it up out for Healy. A little bit good tackle, Waitman. Ball spills free. Bay's lost it. No chance for the Tigers to go forward. Good hand pass by Nichols, and they're on the move. Well, that was too high surely. And Wilson should take the free kick.
Very lucky.
Could even be reversed, will it? Peter Wilson, short of right half forward flank. And Goodwin couldn't make ground to the pocket. It will be a boundary throw-in right on the 50-metre mark. So the Tigers, after a tardy start, are right back in this match. Over the top, Smith to Waitman. Well shepherded Pickering. Well, runs into Toohey. Was the tackle too high? A play on call from the umpire. Lambert and Williams do battle. And Toohey copped one for his corner as well. So things becoming just a little bit willing down there.
I think you're going out from Goodwin to Toohey.
I think that's where he got the eye in the first place. They had that stoused out in the pocket. But I think Toohey was pointing to the good eye.
For how long, we wonder. Bounce right half forward for Richmond. Smith, as I said, doing well to Healy. Kick is to centre wing where it's out of bounds, and so we'll see a throw in front of the coach's box. And both coaches would be happy with certain aspects of their side's play so far. Hafey, I dare say, with the first 10 minutes. And Kevin Bartlett with the fight back. Mark Lee setting himself down to Pickering, who, if I can borrow a phrase of yours, has been a willing worker, Dennis. Now to Mark Lee again. Big pack of players at half forward. Spills to Williams, then turn to Bolton. Over to Toohey. Some heavy traffic there. Williams does well to thread his way through it, and the pass is excellent. The mark taken by Carroll.
What a great finish after some precision football by the Swans. Carroll is centering kick. At the fall of the ball, Parsons knocked away by the defence. Nichols. Bauer to no one in particular. Pym an opportunity. Well played there by the big fellow. Parsons gets it across to Carroll. Carroll scrambles a kick down towards the pocket. He was confronted in the act of kicking. And Michael Pickering goes back and takes the timely mark. This is James. He's at half back and kicks towards centre wing. The pitch is just in front of Lee and sits up obligingly for him. Runs away from Kellett as the big fellow. Bauer. High kick towards half forward. Lloyd should have punched. He's played the mark. He's a bit lucky.
Very lucky.
Lloyd from half back. Free thought it was his mark. This is Kellett on the outer side. Much trouble footballer. Inside the Healy has been a star. Healy draws a man. Goes over the top. Potter. Back to Healy. Fast running out of space and time. Healy. Hand pass intended for Roberts. Mitchell comes up to meet it. Back it comes to Parsons. Parsons had his hand pass charged down. Roberts picks it up. Pulls it back towards full forward. That's a great kick. The Richmond player was slow to come to the boot.
7-7 now to 5-4. That was Roberts' first goal for the season. 7-7. A good target, but he missed some easy ones. Mark taken by Bauer. And he decides to go for a run. Mitchell will just about catch him. Kick dropping short at half forward. Oh, Waitman gets steamrolled. That could be 50 metres. It should be. Not much doubt about that from Big Smith. Very possibly will concede a goal.
Well, that should go right onto the line, and that should be a certain goal.
Dale Waitman casually walking up to take the kick. He's okay. Just a foolish tackle by Smith. That's giving them away, isn't it? Waitman's first, and Richmond's 6 goals have been kicked by 6 different players. Swans fans not happy, but a correct decision, Don.
What a half-hearted bump by Tony Smith. If you're going to bump somebody, you might as well do a decent job of it. And he's given away a goal. You can see there he comes in and really could have made a better job if he's going to give 50 metres away.
You mean make sure they don't get up? My word. Waitman, Lambert, Mitchell, Nichols and Free, the goal kickers for the Tigers so far. And the only player on the ground with 2 is Parsons, who has been standing the square most of the night so far for the Swans. 9 points the difference after that goal by Dale Waitman.
Lee at the second attempt, only as far as Kellett. Dragged off the kick. Williams does well in a tight situation. This is Laffey. Palm, but they're going away from their own goal of Richmond. Palm in all sorts of trouble. Laffey does well, slaps it through the pack. Taken there by Lee. Lambert runs it through centre wing. A high kick down towards half forward. Fisted away by Tui. Roving the pack though is Mitchell. Here's danger. Straight through goes Mitchell and gets the goal.
He is a very good player, Michael Mitchell. I'm very impressed. I've watched him for quite a few weeks there. I've been impressed by the way he tackles, the way he uses his speed. But tonight he is reading that pack very, very nicely. He did it against Carlton. It just didn't work for him. But tonight it is. He's really getting underneath and reading the ball well. And that was good judgment there by the little fellow. Also the way he races into packs and feeds it off with handballs. He's also initiated a lot of play today.
Michael Mitchell, the first Richmond player to score 2 goals. His first one was a great snap in the first quarter from the pocket. He might have another chance here. He's leading in the race for the ball. Waitman might beat him to it. He does. And Richmond really have come to life since Lee's been on the ball. And there he is again. He could put that one through. He has done. It looks like a goal for mine. There might be a free kick. Rod Carter picking up the ball. Actually, I think it may have just struck the bottom of the post, did it? But watch the free kick, which was pretty blatant. So that won't really matter. Rod Carter receiving plenty of advice from the Richmond crowd behind the goal at that end. Carter's kick distance-wise pretty good. Big pack of players. Lee got one hand to it. Laffey racing for it. Over the head to Michael Pickering. A high tackle. He'll take the free kick at the right half forward flank. Very good player for them so far tonight. Kept a minute in the opening few minutes. Not a great kick. Out of bounds on the full. The first real mistake tonight. And the flanks are pretty wide here at the SCG, so a rather poor kick. And the free kick will go to Mark Kellett just up from the back pocket. Laffey over the top. Mark is taken by Henwood though in front. Henwood at left centre wing. Carroll couldn't take the mark. Down goes Pym. James battling forward. Bays had it, lost it. Murphy, oh, lovely dummy. Couldn't get clear though ultimately. High tackle. May have been a shade lucky. And David Murphy will take the free kick a long way from goal. He's about 60 to 65 metres out, but directly in front. No breeze. Spiral punt kick gets plenty of distance. Excellent kick distance-wise, but only 1 point. As Parsons has a little bit of a to-do with Lees. 1 point to the Swans, takes their tally now to 7-8. They lead Richmond 7-4 by 4 points.
Well, I don't think I've seen a team kick as many torpedoes. Obviously, the Sydney Swans practiced that and kicked a kick because Carter kicked a beautiful kick. Mitchell we saw earlier, and that was a good kick also by Murphy. I've seen Healy get onto a few good ones tonight already as well.
This is Lees. Goes in short and finds Bauer. Still deep in his own defensive area, Bauer. Looking for options down the ground, then goes for distance. A high kick towards the outer side. Over the top, Henwood. Hits the ground running. Fires it back into the forward line. Getting back is Lees. He crosses the goal line with the ball. Hearing pat from the Swans supporter. No malice there. 7-9 to 7-4. Friday night in Sydney. Big game for the Swans. Full credit to Richmond. Off to a slow start. Guts their way back into it. Bauer, uncontested, takes the mark. Belatedly arriving was Potter. This is Bauer then. Goes in short intended for Mitchell. Has to go back, but he takes the mark at right half back. Michael Mitchell in a live wire so far from half back. A high kick towards centre wing. Kellett will come over the top. Tries to knock it away. Henwood to Smith. At close quarters he gets it to Lloyd. Nice to Mitchell. Superb dummy. The little man gets around the oncoming Mitchell. Boots it down, his namesake actually. Boots it down towards the 50-metre line. Palm battling with Carroll. Carroll emerges with the ball. James did well. Knocked it away from Carroll. Boundary throw in. 7-9 the Swans. 7-4 the Tigers. Here's the throw in. In front is Parsons. Lee knocking it away. Taken by Michael Mitchell. Got a little hand pass. Putting the ball into the path of Pickering. To his brother. Michael to Justin. Kick goes across the ground. Roberts leads in the race out there. Claimed from behind by Waitman. Bolton with dash. Harris by Pym. Held on to. Bolton will get the kick.
Bolton short of centre field. Swans looking for some scores. And Carroll covering plenty of territory. Justin Pickering won't catch him. The skipper. Long kick looking for Parsons. Opposition from Lee. Lee grabs it. And Gerard Healy leading him get too far. Over to Michael Mitchell. Nearly runs into trouble but gets out of it just as quickly. Kellett goes for the spoil. Caught with the ball. No, says the umpire, held Tui.
Thought that tackle might have been a little bit high there by Michael Pickering initially. A bit high, and then he dropped it around the waist.
It's a bounce on centre wing from umpire Carden. Honeybun down to Mitchell. Tackled pretty expeditiously by Smith, but the umpire said he didn't have the ball. So Michael Mitchell from right centre wing to put the Tigers into attack again. And good lead. Hogg comes out to take the kick right on 50 metres. And a goal here would put Richmond in front by 1 point for the first time tonight. Hogg from 50. And that is a goal. Yes, it is. 7 Richmond players have kicked their 8 goals, and they lead for the first time tonight as they get booted forward by Lambert.
Down towards half forward. Up comes Carter. Takes the mark on his chest. Rod Carter plays on now. Confronted by Waitman. Comes back onto his left foot. High kick towards centre wing. The mark is claimed by Smith, and it's paid. Smith just the defensive side of left centre wing. Now gets 50 metres, and Goodwin's not happy about that.
Well, he's given away 50. Now he's got it back.
Smith goes down to the 50-metre line then. I'd venture to say still too far out to score. He doesn't go for the spiral, but that's a magnificent drop punt. They'll compete about 5 metres out. Off hands Mitchell, pulls it back across his body, right across the face of goal. Laffey leads in the race in the opposite pocket. The boundary line is too near. So the Tigers lead. The Swans kicked the first 3 goals, 4 of the first 5, 5 of the first 6. But now the Tigers 8-4, the Swans 7-9. Lee and Parsons. Bauer gets it across to Nichols. Around the outer side. Justin Pickering in front. Tui reaching over the top. It's the angle on the punch away. It's out of bounds and will be thrown in. Not a big crowd tonight, but conditions ideal for football. Smith and Lee will do the ruck work. One backward of the pack by Smith, taken by Pickering. It's Michael Pickering. High kick. Tui wanting it most. This is Murphy with Dash Murphy. Touches it down once. Claimed as he kicks inside 50. Storming up, Laffey takes the mark.
Certainly got the longest hair on the ground. Kick not a long one. Over the back is Lees. Couldn't take it. Carroll. He could just about kick that, but he's gone for the pass into the pocket, and that's effective. The mark is taken by Merv Neagle. Trying to get around at a better angle. Centering kick. Almost effective to Heavy, but he's made a meal of it. Picked up by Bays. Shocking kick, and puts it out of bounds on the full. And the free kick will go down there on the last line of defence to James.
It was a shocking kick when you consider that it is Mark Bays' right kicking foot to go onto that left turn. It's naturally a left foot kick.
James from the back pocket. Around the member stand side. Wilson to sit. Here he went through pretty solidly. Wins the ball. Mitchell tackled high. And we'll see a ball up inside the 50-metre mark with the Swans in attack at left half forward. So, and they kicked 1 goal since quarter time. Tommy Hafey looking a little bit worried at the moment after they got off to such a great start. Lee again. Certainly made a difference since move to the ruck. As we would expect, a player of his experience. And it's Tui's turn. Well, Lee's tackled high. And again, drops it this time. Nothing forward, says the umpire, which was perhaps rather strange. Hand pass comes out to Williams. Free, breaking clear, but a whistle has gone. It's going to be a Swans free kick. And it will go to Greg Williams at half forward. And the Brownlow medalist with a chance to put the Swans deep into attack. Looking for Henwood. Can't take it. The ball hits the deck again, and a chance for Murphy.
Murphy running away from his own goal. Swings it out wide. 2-on-1 out there, but Carroll does brilliantly. Controls it on the ground. Tries to get it to Potter. A directed hand pass. This is Waitman. Claimed by Potter. Taken by Pym. Nichols. 1 bounce. Carries him down towards half forward. Tried to pull it back. That was ambitious. Still an opportunity for Hogg. He's outnumbered 4 against 1. Weight of numbers win the day. Williams to the run of Cordy. On the overlap, Cordy up from full back. High kick towards half forward. All Richmond to the fall of the ball. Laffey. Late arrival was Henwood. Laffey to James. This is Wilson. From half back, Wilson. Little chip pass, and the mark is taken by Free. He's gone out of the game in this term. Swings it out wide. Lambert couldn't take it. He's claimed by Tui. Neagle is off the ground. Davis is on. Free, strong arms his way past Williams. Well played by the youngster. Hooks it high down towards half forward. Mitchell fighting out of his division. Well played by Smith. Taken by Barry Mitchell of the Swans. 1 bounce. On centre wing, he kicks it down towards left half forward.
Swans into attack. Strong mark to Carroll. And he really has been leading by example tonight. Some excellent work across the half forward line. The centering kick tries to find Henwood at the back. 2-on-1 off the hands of Pym. Lees gets it out of danger. Lee, here's a Storm gift. Unfortunately, goes straight to Lloyd on the run at right half forward. And a good mark to Potter. He decides to play on, racing it to go. Have to kick it. Great tackle. Laffey to James. And Richmond get clear again. The Tigers with their tails up at the SCG as the mark is taken by Waitman. Waitman at left centre wing. Playing his 200th game. Umpire says play on. Back it goes to James. Not a well-directed kick. Cordy. Callett Shepherds for Mitchell. Mitchell finally with the kick. After the hand pass came from Williams. The players missing that. Henwood and Laffey. Lee puts the body in. So too to 3 Swans players. Breaking away as Murphy. The hand pass comes out to Lloyd. Lloyd's kicked to right half forward. Also not giving Davis much latitude. In fact, that might have gone out of bounds. Craig Davis, as Dennis mentioned, just came on to replace Neagle. And Merv's gone to the bench. This is the first half of the season. Merv Neagle trying to regain some form. The 2 number 1s it will be Parsons and Lee. Lee played a great game against Carlton, one of the best we've seen from him in quite some time. 3 Richmond players are there. Mitchell goes for the hand pass, partially smothered, and we'll see a boundary throw in about 35 to 40 metres around from the behind post.
8:37 and counting down in this first half. 2 number 1s. Lee and Parsons will do the ruck work this time. Laffey on the assist in there, pushed out of it. This is Lambert. Michael Mitchell breaking away from half back. It's a hand pass across to support. Pickering, Michael Pickering, crashing through as Roberts. Back towards half forward. Williams, his hand pass intercepted too. This is Bauer. Tries to get it across to Palm. Some mistakes being made at the present time. Lambert does well, spins out of trouble. Lee, big one. A looping hand pass over the top. Free, knocked away by Murphy. Now the ball is free, but the tackle was too long, was it? Yes, it was, I think.
He said he was tripped, I think, Dennis. That was his indication anyway.
Well, Free's got it on the outer side. Just forward of half back, kicks through centre towards half forward. Big pack into the air. Michael Pickering almost hung on. Waitman over the ball. Smith. Oh, very nicely done. Smith comes away, met solidly as he kicks. It goes out towards right half forward. Henwood almost a strong mark. On the ground, it's Murphy. High kick towards the pocket. James has got the run on Healy, and James does well. No. Behind the pack, Davis an opportunity into an open goal.
Well, Craig Davis, ever alert behind the back of the pack there. The umpire running in. I think he might, yes, he is going to pay that free. Had it have not been a goal, he obviously would have given him another kick for goal. Craig Davis, who's just come on replacing Merv Naval, kicked 2 points last week. Made a comeback to football after quite a number of years out. I remember one day he blitzed Hawthorn earlier in his career when playing for Carlton at full forward.
Watch the spoil. Possibly James should have done better and got it out of bounds. He slid across the fist and found Davis behind.
Well, Craig might be a little bit sore, so I wonder how long he will be on the ground. Smith takes the hand pass at midfield. Now to left half forward, tries to find Carroll, couldn't do so. Healy, a good substitute. And Healy having a great night. He started sensationally, and so did this player, although they haven't been quite so noticeable in their second term. Williams, short pass, great mark and lead by Henwood. And Henwood within kicking distance, about 45 out.
Richmond have made a change. Goodwin going off and Ryan coming on.
So Henwood directly in front. Chance for a goal. Swans have found them hard to come by in this quarter. That's okay. That's through. Well, after Richmond led narrowly just a few minutes ago, the Swans back into the lead now, leading 63-52 by 11 points.
Approaching time on. Smith has done very well. Will be opposed by Lee this time. 6-17 and counting down. Lee with a backhander, knocked on by Mitchell towards half forward, and again by Waitman. This is Cordy. A lot of courage there going against the tide. Releases Mitchell. Shrugs a tackle, does Mitchell. Ryan almost had him. The high kick inside 50 is marked down there by James. He's away quickly. James swings it out wide. The mark is taken by a sliding Dale Waitman, the double centurion tonight. Waitman's away. Centering kick. Ryan takes the mark. Plays on. This is Wilson. Runs through centre wing. Good kick this one, and the mark is taken in front by Free. I'm not entirely sure it wasn't intended for Hogg, who was leading out. Kevin Bartlett has reason to be proud of his Tigers so far. They really have been relentless. The pass coming in. Free taking the mark in front. So the youngster will kick from about 40 metres out on a slight angle. See what he can do. Sliding away, hits the post about 2/3 of the way out. Bad luck for Tony Free and Richmond.
63-53, a difference of 10 points. Quarter into time on now as Rod Carter will bring the ball back into play. Thumping punt towards centre field. Williams breaking clear with his umpteenth hand pass tonight. It's it to Tui. Good block by Michael Pickering. Lambert tries to get clear of Bayes, succeeds in doing that. Goes with the pass down to Waitman. Mark, free kick. Roberts a little bit late on the scene. Dale Waitman will kick from about the 50-metre mark.
Justin Pickering there holding his back. Now he has got a back problem, Justin. Let's hope he's all right, because he has worked very, very hard on that injury over the past 12 months. And Dale Waitman on screen there just copped a heavy whack just a couple of minutes earlier and then received another one there from Roberts. So he's certainly earned this kick.
Dale Waitman from 50 out. And off the hands, rushed through for one behind. The Tigers to make the difference 9 points in favour of Sydney in the latter stages of the second term. Well, he's away from the trainer, so at least that's good news. 63-54. Now the scoreboard reads. Not a huge crowd here, but the game a very good one so far. First the Swans getting the break. Richmond pegging them back. Spiral punt by Carter is another beauty right to midfield. Henwood went the punch and nearly marked it. A wild hand pass goes Richmond's way as it's knocked on by Pym. A chance for Free again. He's been in everything to Wilson, streaming from the half-back line. Not close enough. 8 points the difference. Point kick by Peter Wilson. 8-7 to 9-9 at the SCG.
Couldn't question Peter Wilson's enthusiasm, the way he runs with the ball, but what you could question is his delivery or his disposal. I just seem to have my heart in my mouth each time he gets the ball. What is he going to do with it? And he could have kicked a goal there had he been a little steadier.
Spiral punt this time from Rod Carter, and it's also a good one.
Mark is taken though by Michael Pickering. End of time on well and truly. Hogg on the lead. Pickering ignores that. He'll go for distance down towards the kickoff line. Lee, out he comes, and Lee takes the mark. Mark Lee is about 25 metres out directly in front. It was a well-placed kick from Pickering.
Mark Lee not noted for his high marking, but he has taken a couple tonight. One on Parsons down in the back line, and that one also a very good mark.
Mark Lee. Yet to kick a goal. This will be a handy one. At the moment they trail by 8 points, Richmond. And Lee slides it away towards the right-hand side and misses. So it's back to 7 points. He's not too impressed. Mark Lee. 9-9 to 8-8. Really has been a very entertaining game of football so far here at the Sydney Cricket Ground.
Sydney pulling a lot of moves. Neil Cordy now in the back pocket. He was on Michael Pickering earlier, but Bayes has done quite a good job on Pickering, and Roberts has got a tough job on the little fellows.
There's Carter. Straight down the middle this time. Murphy fisted away by Pym. Opportunity for Healy. Well played by Justin Pickering. Got the hand pass through to Mitchell. Mitchell about 15 metres out. Pulls it back too far. So Richmond finishing this half with a spate of behinds. They're peppering the goal, and the margin is back to 6 points.
1 goal, close to siren time. Smith retrieving the ball for Rod Carter. And looked a one-horse race with the Swans bolting in the first quarter. Richmond hit the front in this term, and they're now trailed by a goal. Front is Honeybun. Healy went through, but without the ball. Keller breaks clear, fresh air shot. Stock it away again, but Laffey's there. So too is Waitman. Hinwood off the ground. Now the Swans on the move. Mitchell takes the hand pass from Potter. Up to Parsons. Was that touch? Won't matter. It's a behind anyway. So the difference is 7 points now in favour of the home team. 9-10 to 8-9. As I said, a rather cool night at the SCG. Lees favours the member stand side. Laffey in front, nearly dragged that one down. Mitchell over to Tui, the half-back flanker, could kick a goal. Could, didn't. Another behind. So behinds at both ends of the ground being kicked in great profusion at the moment. 9-11-65 to 8-9-57. And Lees again in favour of the member stand side. Now he's going to make a liar of me and go short to the other side, where he finds Michael Pickering. Out to James, and the Tigers are away from defence. Long kick by James up towards the centre wing position. Late on the scene is Healy, but does it well to get it away from Bauer. Ryan in pursuit. Healy's kick a short one, intercepting as Laffey. The hand pass, and the Tigers are away through Ryan. Up to half forward. Mitchell, it collides with a teammate down there. It doesn't matter. Waitman, can he get clear of Bolton? Or drag too high, one would have thought. Oh, it's gone the Swans' way and picked up for them by Lloyd. Hand pass comes out from Tui to Cordy to Murphy at right centre wing.
Murphy goes down towards half forward with a kick. Intended for Mitchell. Mitchell does brilliantly in a confined area. Mitchell from outside 50, long towards full forward. Knocked forward down there by Lees, and James runs it through for a behind. So pressure at both ends of the ground. It's been that sort of game. 9-12 Sydney, 8-9 Richmond. Richmond attacking for about 3 or 4 minutes there, and now Sydney doing all the attacking. And Lees, with the clock still running, it's almost half-time. Kicks in, Members side, high floater. Smith will come over the top, not required. Almost the mark to Williams. Head down, crashing in there was Potter. And Potter's going to get the free kick. 16 seconds and counting down. Potter back towards full forward. Out comes Parsons, almost the mark. Palm goes in, picked up by Mitchell, surrounded, gives it away, taken by James to Wilson. That could be the final act of the half. Yes, it is. There's the siren for half-time. And Sydney 9-12 lead Richmond 8-9. So a very exciting first half. We saw Sydney start very well indeed. And then Richmond, the young Richmond side, steadying and taking the challenge right back to the Sydney Swans. And their initial move was led in no small part by that man, Greg Williams, coming off the ground. He and Healy in everything, along with Mitchell in the opening 5 minutes or so. But full credit to this young Tiger team. Dennis Carroll also busy on the forward line tonight. But the Tigers have earned a lot of respect tonight.
They certainly have. They obviously like it under lights because they played a sensational game, as we recall, a couple of weeks back at the Melbourne Cricket Ground when they blitzed the reigning premiers in that quarter. They kicked 4 goals 5 after a 4-4 contribution in the opening term. The Swans could manage only 3-5 after their fine first quarter of the tally of 6-7. And so the bottom line of that is, after leading by 15 points at quarter time, the Swans have had their lead narrowed to 9. We'll take a break. We'll be back at the Sydney Cricket Ground in just a minute.
Good kick though, sliding off the side of his boot and out of bounds on the full in the right full forward pocket. Sydney able to win the ball out of the centre early in this game, and they really did dominate the centre square, and as a result the scoreboard for the first 5 to 10 minutes, the Tigers worked very strongly on getting back into it. Bauer out of defence, Members side, Laffey uncontested, goes up and takes the mark. So Laffey from left half back, centering kick, good kick too, finds the man in open space. That's Pym. Pym on his left foot. High looping kick towards half forward. Toohey in from the side. He and Bayes in best position. Healy gets the hand pass out. Taken by Lambert to Pym. Pym, natural kicking foot, just chips it in short. And the mark is taken by Justin Pickering.
Justin Pickering right on the 50-metre mark from left half forward flank. Doesn't get any great distance with the kick. Smith, he's been a more than capable big man tonight. He's done well at the centre bounces. Lee's possibly done a little bit more around the ground as Toohey fires out the hand pass to Murphy on the run at right centre wing. That's a better kick. For the Swans' sake, let's hope the result's just as good. Juggled by Henwood. Laffey puts the body in front of Carroll. It's socket out to Waitman. Over the top, I think intended for Wilson. Gets a lucky bounce and away he goes. Peter Wilson tries to get it to Mitchell. Not successful. Bayes sees it safely over the boundary line.
And for the Sydney Swans, Merv Nagel's back on. And I can't pick up Ian Roberts. He went off just before half-time with a leg injury, being replaced by Batterson, but Batterson's gone back onto the bench for the Swans.
Smith and Honeybun. Honeybun palms that one down, tries to find Waitman, who was held by Bolton. The umpire didn't see it. Healy tries to get it clear. This is Justin Pickering. Carter knocks it down. Picked up by Nichols. This will be a goal to Richmond. The easiest of the night, booted through by Ryan. Only 3 points the difference now. It's a thriller at the SCG, 66 to 63. Long hand pass to Wilson, and again Richmond swing into attack.
Wilson, a high kick down towards half forward. In best position to mark is Toohey. What a strong mark that was. Outstanding player, great servant of the Sydney Swans. In short, intended for Healy. Richmond had the numbers. It was knocked away. Neagle wore one as he got it across to Smith. Support for the big fellow. He unloads with a kick down towards half forward. Laffey, another strong mark. Laffey up in front, outmarking Henwood. Sold Waitman into a fair degree of trouble, but got it back. This is James. He's at left half back, James. Penetrating kick. Good one. Mitchell takes the mark. Runners inside and out to Pym. Pym going down towards half forward. Intended for Hogg as it got the carry to reach its target. Oh, great defence again by Toohey. Free. Now it's jarred free, and it's taken by Bayes. Bayes back towards the middle. Healy. The Swans have got men free. Healy's away now, running up through the middle. One bounce. Carries in towards half forward. Little chip kick intended for Henwood. Laffey almost the mark. Davis attempting his second. Gets it.
2 kicks, 2 goals.
And what great play there by the veteran, Craig Davis. And we'll just capture this on replay because he showed great anticipation as he ran across the front of the 2 players going for the mark. There he is on screen running back after congratulating. There's the quick ball, the high ball from Healy. Henwood behind, punch down from Laffey, but great pace there by Davis, and also good skills to go onto that left foot.
So a goal apiece in the third quarter so far. Davis has 2, Parsons 2, the major goal kickers for the Swans. Mitchell has 2 for Richmond. Williams gets it out to Neagle. Wobbly punt kick, doesn't travel too much distance. Henwood, one of the real goers in the Swan side, sees it safely over the boundary line. His elbow bandage, they didn't detect that before half-time. Quite a bit of heavy strapping on that right elbow. It's going to be Parsons against Lee. Again, the 2 number 1s. Parsons starting at full forward. In fact, so too did Mark Lee for Richmond. Burrowing underneath is Mitchell. Out comes Parsons. Out comes Laffey. It's a better kick up towards centre field. Smith should have gone the punch instead of trying to mark from behind. This fellow's been very elusive tonight. He's kicked 2 goals. Mitchell, centering kick, trying to find Michael Pickering. It spills for Nichols. Nichols a short pass. Don't know if that was touched off the boot or not. It won't matter. Lee takes the hand pass from Hogg. This should be a goal. Ryan could put through his second from 15 out. And he's done just that.
10-12, 10-9. Des Ryan with 2 goals in this term. Hilly out of the middle. Sends the Swans down towards half forward. Mitchell is up in front. Knocked away by Bauer. This is Carroll, pursued by Palm, gets it back nicely to Murphy. Back it comes, close to the boundary line. Davis, acute angle. Davis slides it across the goal face, pack into the air. Potter almost the opportunity. Parsons can't find it in there. Lee's over the pack, and the umpire has blown the whistle. It's going to be a free kick to Sydney. So Potter's earned a free kick in all of that. The push in the back was the indication.
You always guarantee that Craig Potter will be underneath the pack.
Waitman sounding off to the umpire, but they've umpired very well so far tonight. It hasn't been an easy game. It's been a willing game. Both sides going in very hard. Potter hasn't seen much of the ball so far. A kick from about 20 metres out, 45-degree angle, straight through.
Well, there's Craig Potter on screen, a very strong half forward. Not the most gifted player, but if determination's got anything to do with it, Craig Potter will certainly make it. He's a fearless competitor, gets underneath the pack, and he did on that occasion. It's bad luck his career was interrupted with a knee injury. He had his knee reconstructed last year. And a Queenslander, and a lot of Queenslanders starting to make their mark in league football.
One's leading the goal kicking. Mason Dunstall. Craig Potter, the 9th Sydney player to score a goal tonight. Only one of them, or 2 players there, have 2. That's Parsons and Davis, out of their total of 11. Knocked down by Smith again, as I said before, done well at the bounces. Socket away by Wilson. Mitchell should get there first. Bays in hot pursuit. Then he catches him. That was a great tackle. The ball spilt free. Chance for Lambert. He almost got one in the back. Now Bays, long hand pass. Williams. Murphy in trouble. Good tackle, Palm. And Richmond with plenty of runners to get it out of defence. Comes out to James. James lobs the kick out towards the centre wing position. Michael Pickering almost took the impossible mark. He's opposite number 35 is Murphy. Up from the back line. Mark Cavett streaming downfield. A long kick. Underneath it is Waitman. Richmond had the numbers there, but ball falls to Healy. Right on the 50-metre line. Runs his full distance and shoots. That's not bad. Coming around, but right on the goal line. The mark taken by Justin Pickering. Gets it out to Wilson. He's got plenty of room out on that outer wing. Good mark to Ryan. And here goes Mitchell again. He could just about score from there. 45 metres out. Carter and Hogg. This time Carter wins the 2-out duel. Gets it out and turned to Lloyd, and away go the Swans.
That's real end-to-end stuff at the present time. Lee with the run of the ball. Dragged down by Carroll. They still battle after it. Socket out of there eventually. Wide by Healy. Leading in the race is Murphy. And the ball simply trickles across the boundary line. So, quick transferences of play, one end, then the other. It really is a running game. It's taking its toll, as you can see. David Murphy gasping for air. He's been a man in the middle, catching the action both ways. Lee decisively down into the path of Lambert. This is Nichols, 65 metres out, long kick towards the kickoff line. Big pack at the fall of the ball. It's going to be a Richmond free kick. Well seen by the umpire. Yes, indeed.
My word, Dennis, that was well caught by the umpire. They're running into that pack. Mitchell getting underneath and being edged out by his Sydney Swan opponent.
So, a push in the back at either end could account for the last 2 goals in this game. Potter, and now Michael Mitchell. How much doubt he'll get this. Kick from about 20 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Mitchell in deliberately. Steers it through. 11-12 to 11-9. So Richmond have picked up 6 points so far in this term. And Lee will oppose Smith at this bounce down. One down by Lee, taken away by Lambert. Out towards left half forward with a kick. Free is in front. Tui battling hard. Well played by Tony Free. Goes back, can't control it. Williams has it knocked away by Waitman. Coming out is Cordy.
Beautifully done through a lot of players. Cordy. It's in to Murphy. And turn the kick from Potter. And towards the right half forward flank. Now a chance for Mitchell. Palm in the road. And gets well caught by Mitchell too. The hurried hand pass. And then going through pretty solidly was Potter again. Out it comes to Davis. Was that a throw? Things becoming pretty woolly down on the boundary line. The whistle has gone.
It was an eternity, if not a throw.
And some of them want to go on with it. Long kick to centre wing. And it's a juggle. Claiming it as Mark Kellett. Decides to go for the hand pass to Murphy. Not a good one. Murphy might be able to make amends. Bolton couldn't do much about that one. Murphy does. Gets it into the open spaces for Bays. Now it comes to Kellett again. Spilled off his knee. So the Tigers will be able to get out of trouble again. Through Wilson. Gets met heavily by Healy. Now it goes to Palm. In turn to Lee. Lee at midfield. Carroll won't catch him. Long kick by the former skipper. Up to Tui off the hands of the pack. A hurried hand pass. Now no one out there. No support at all as it goes over the boundary line in front of he and also Ryan. And we'll see a throw in Richmond's right forward pocket about 30 metres from goal. So the Tigers looking dangerous in the third quarter so far. Honeybun and Smith. Out to Waitman. Plenty of Richmond players at the fall of the ball. And it comes down finally to Bauer. Pym. Well caught. Good tackling by the Swans at the moment. Neagle to Kellett. In turn to Healy. He'll have to kick it quickly or go for the hand pass. The latter's the order of the day. Back to Carroll. Just off the circle. A long kick again by the Swan skipper down to half forward. Henwood and Potter. Just about a throw. It comes again to Wilson doing some very useful work there. And again Richmond get clear as it spills into the arms of Ryan.
Enthralling game at the present time. Well done by Justin Pickering. Knocks it out. It's taken away by Waitman. He goes down towards right half forward. Centering kick. Cordy can't get back and the mark is taken behind by the leading Hogg. So Hogg has this ball. He'll kick from just inside 50. It's a beautiful kick.
Bad play by Merv Nagel going down there with one hand and allowed Pickering to get the ball down forward. Hogg the shot for goal.
It's got one so far tonight. Not quite the carry. Opportunity down there for Free. He's dragged out of it. Socket off the ground by Bays. It's a race back. This is Nichols. Inside 50, right on the boundary line. Superbly charged down by the defender Lloyd. Throwing himself across the boot that time. And worthy of that applause. Here's a goer.
My word, Sydney are very, very good at smothering and also tackling and shepherding.
Very close, I think, to the best smothering side in the league. Maybe aided by the confines of this ground. There's the throw in. One down by Honeybun. Oh, clever little hand pass from Williams to Bolton. Bolton a long kick through centre. Laffey almost the mark. Healy behind. Long foot's Bauer. Now he breaks away inside 50. Long go on goal, slightly off target. And through it goes for a behind. 11-13 to 11-9. The midway mark of this third term.
And when you think that Sydney got 6 goals, 7 of that total in the first quarter, Richmond have done pretty well since then. Whistle has gone. Free kick going Richmond's way to be taken by Mark Lee. He was held. We're not in position. Looks for Free. Williams claiming the mark. Don't think it was a grab at all. Mitchell's kick smothered. Honeybun the chance. Kellett loses it. Good smother. Free. Up the half forward. Michael Pickering got his own. Inside 50 will shoot from there. A goal puts Richmond in front.
In
Pickering, the 9th Richmond player to kick a goal. So they've been shared certainly tonight as Lambert goes for the hand pass. The Tigers go into attack again. They're enjoying a lead of 2 points. That's their biggest margin they've had. Ryan's hand pass is a good one. On the receiving end is Pym. That could be another one. It is. And the Tigers are alight at the SCG.
Well, this game's starting to be a little bit reminiscent of the game or the last quarter against Carlton when Pym really started to come into the game. The way Richmond are starting to move the ball and showing great poise as they do it. Sydney are making a change. Smith going off and Batterson coming on as Ryan gets the ball here across to Pym. Kellett coming in, hot pursuit, just too far away from Pym. And they're playing the ground very, very well. Those fellows running down from centre wing, half forward, starting well up and running past for the hand pass. Richmond playing quite disciplined football.
Chris Pym, his first goal of tonight. He got 3 in that upset over Carlton. Another upset in the making here as Williams gets it out of the middle. Wilson to Palm at close quarters. That's ambitious. Palm was taken high according to the umpire. David Palm across half back for the Tigers. Long kick, good kick out towards right half forward. Off the hands of the Swans defender. Bayes does well to flick it back. Mitchell off the ground. Sockers it across the boundary line. So the Swans led by 15 points at quarter time. Kevin Bartlett has seen his team erase that 9-point margin at halftime, and currently they lead. 10:47 remaining in this third quarter. Smith into the path of Tui. He can't control it. And once more it will be thrown in. The crowd just in excess of 8,000 tonight. Disappointing really. 8,008.
Well, the Sydney Swans have got a different setup on their forward line now. Before Parsons in the ruck there was at the full forward position, but Davis has gone there now, so they're not quite as tall as what they were. So this could suit Richmond.
Bolton's kick, only a short one. Richmond leading in the race for the ball through Laffey now as he relays it to Palm. And the Tigers looking much the better combination at the moment. He gets around Neagle, spears a pass up to half forward and finds Mitchell. Courageous grab by the Sandover medalist. And he will shoot from about 35 to 40 metres out from goal.
Also a great kick by this former West Perth ruck rover. Blistering through that half wings position and finding another Western Australian.
Michael Mitchell, 3 goals so far, the leading goal kicker in the match. Going for the Tigers' 6th in this third term. And looks as though he's got it. He has.
Stallone is taking Australia by storm. And Australia is loving him. Hundreds of thousands have turned out to see Rambo 3, the greatest entertainment since Star Wars.
Just sensational. Great body.
Action-packed, had it all.
Stallone, in the biggest and best Rambo of them all. Rambo 3.
Who is this? Your worst nightmare.
And that was Michael Mitchell's 4th goal and their 6th for this quarter. 79 to 93 as Lambert takes it. Smothered by a heap of Swans. Knocked down again by Lambert, and that's Laffey. Looks untidy, but he's been quite effective at half-back tonight. Down goes Michael Pickering, arguably with a high tackle, and that certainly was on David Palm. And he'll take the obvious free kick, a little bit short of centre field.
And there's a Richmond player down behind play.
Bauer. Didn't see what happened to him, did you?
He was bumped off the ball. There goes Palm out wide. Richmond have got the numbers out there. It's taken by Wilson. Draws a man over the top to Nichols. Nichols at half forward, twisting and turning. Forced to bounce it now. Running back towards the wing. Towards centre half forward goes the kick man in front, Murphy. So the Swans now with the challenge put to them. What a great competition we've got. Any side capable of beating another on a given day. In this case, a given night. This is Williams out wide. Tui, valiant attempt to mark again. Weighted numbers. This is Bauer. At a quick recovery, has a bounce, runs up towards centre wing, a high kick into the path of Free and/or Pym, and Pym going back takes the mark. Now he's away. Pym a centering kick. Carter in best position. Should have taken that mark. Hog an opportunity. Man on in the goal square, but he can't get it back. Coming through is Mitchell to Kellett. Kellett shrugs off a tackle and gives it away. Lambert, who's had a superb third term, He's been in everything, Lambert. Comes away with the ball, goes looking for Mitchell. Too much carry on the kick. Through comes Cordy. Great tackle, Mitchell. Ball still in play. Cordy gets up to find it again. Goes to ground again. Ryan's got it. In it comes. Free. Free goes towards goal. And there's a man remonstrating in the goal square. He was free down there. That was Hogg. But Free kicked it behind.
So many frees
Work
there.
that out.
Lost track of that. It's been Richmond's quarter. Advertising. We'll be into some of that later, Don. Long kick by Carter. Over the top was Bauer. Now it's a Swans ball. Williams takes the hand pass short of half back. Fires out a long one himself. Streaming down the ground is Potter. The Swans badly need a score. They won't get one here, though. Good safe mark taken in defence by James. Goes around the boundary line, literally. In fact, it might even be over the boundary line. It is, but not on the full. Healy thought it was. Certainly claiming such. It'll be thrown in about 45 metres around. Lee. Oh, here's a one-sided competition. Actually, Williams won it. There was no ruckman there. And it's going to be a bounce. Tinker's becoming a little bit frayed. Batterston having a few words to say.
That number 4 for Richmond, Lambert's been absolutely everywhere in this quarter.
Must be the new number.
Inspired him.
Won by Lee. Williams sharks it, gets around Bauer. Under Parsons. Batterston. Potter. They badly need one. They've got one. And they have to struggle hard for it.
A little bit like last week's goal. Craig Potter kicked the last goal for Sydney Swans. They only kicked 2 last week, and Potter snapped one late in the last quarter, and a little bit similar. It was a snap kick again, a rather harried kick. They really worked hard to do this. Batterson quickly across to Potter despite the opposition, and good play by the Richmond fellow to throw his body across the boot. Potter got his kick away. I think Sydney, they've got to pull their pants up if they want to stay in this game or get back into it.
9 points the difference. They've kicked 3 goals this quarter as they did in the second, but they booted 6-7 in a great opening term. Lee misses it. Is left for Potter again to fire at a hand pass, and he's got it to Healy.
Healy out of the centre, deep towards the pocket. Knocked away by Lees, off the ground by James, only a couple of metres gain. Mitchell gets it across to Davis. Davis goes long down towards full forward, 2-on-1 in the square. Henwood couldn't take the mark and it went through for a behind. Laffey did pretty well there. Had Henwood had the presence of mind to knock it back towards the kickoff line. The only man on the ground was Bays. No one closer than 20 metres. Still, easy from up here. Laffey, Ember's side. Murphy, another great mark. That's 2 tonight. That's stuck like a man in the gully. David Murphy. Too far out to score. Tries for the spiral punt, wobbles into the pocket. Davis is up, can't hang on, and the ball spills out of bounds alongside the behind post. Top game of football, this one. 14-10 to 12-14.
A hander.
Beautiful. Lee in front. Hooks it down. Bolton tries to go off the ground. Free at the base of all of that. And they really have uncovered some talent at Richmond. They're young players, not overawed. They really get in. They work hard. You find them invariably at the base of packs. And obviously Kevin Bartlett has put a high price on that. Players who are prepared to work. There's the bounce close to goal. The Swans attacking in. Wilson. There's that man again, Lambert, in deep trouble this time. Fires it back. Bauer over the ball, confronted by Tui. Justin Pickering, hurried kick. In fact, he was out of bounds.
Throw in inside the 50-metre line. Right half forward flank for the Swans. And a great quarter by Richmond. Fans trying to rally the Sydney team to greater heights. The heights indeed that they achieved in the first quarter. It's all Richmond though as Bauer drives them up towards the left centre wing. Off the hands of Mitchell. Healy's first to recover. Beautiful snatch, that one. Healy from the boundary line, puts it over. Deserved better. So a free kick, left half-back flank for Richmond. It'll be taken by James, it looks like down there. So things not going right for Sydney at the moment. And a spectator on the ground should be taken, or is that one of the trainers? They invade the ground at Perth, mimic the goal umpires. We don't need that here. Michael Pickering. Started sensationally for the Tigers and has been a great player all night. Tui.
Solid.
Harold died on the hands. Game number 150. Tui. Laffy is the flyer. Couldn't control it. Spills to Mitchell. Screws it back with the centering kick to Bays. One-hander wasn't successful. Socked away by Mitchell. The rebound goes to Lees. Picked up by Lambert again. Having a great quarter. Down goes Bolton. Cop one from Laffy. Tigers go forward meantime. Booted away by Honeybun. Up to Parsons. That was courage, but he made a move of it to free into the square. And Rod Carter the first to recover after that little duel with Hogg. And we'll see a boundary throw in adjacent to the behind post, about 5 metres from the scoring area.
I think Sydney want to get Tony Smith back on the ground, put him into the ruck and put Parsons back to that full forward position, because they're doing the thing that they're programmed to do, kick it long into the goal square. 3 of them are dropped there. They're just too small at the moment up forward. Sydney.
Well into time on. 8 points the margin Richmond's way. This is Cordy. Hasn't had the best of nights. Williams. Members side with the kick. Great mark taken by Henwood over the top. Down a long way. Out wide to Healy. Wilson comes to him. Does nicely. Knocks the ball away. But he was overcommitted. As a result, Healy comes away. Spearing kick. Great mark. The little fellow at full tilt. He needed to mark that one. He was surrounded by 3 Tigers. Barry Mitchell, who's been a star, goes in short. And the mark is taken by Healy. Now, Healy will kick from right on the 50-metre line. This will test him. The breeze not a factor. The clock running down on the 3rd term. Healy again tonight, as always, a lot of possessions. "17 kicks, 8 hand passes.
The average is about 30 possessions a game.
Right on target, taking plenty of time. In fact, he kicks from just inside 50. It's a high kick. Has it got the carry? No. Knocked down right on the goal line by Lee, and Michael Pickering comes away, gets it across to Mitchell. He finds Palm.
And the Tigers running it out of defence beautifully to Lambert again. Lambert goes out wide, and Richmond players running in great profusion. Wilson, 30-metre hand pass down towards Pym. Pym from left half forward. Carter, too long for Ryan. Hogg late on the scene, tries to keep it in, not successful. And so Richmond really running the ball from the full-back position to the left forward pocket, and a chance to score. They lead by 8 points at the moment, 86-94, after they trailed by 9 at half-time. Parsons and Ryan will contest it. Knocked away by Parsons, down to Michael Pickering, got one too high. Kick ultimately smothered. Snapshot for goal was not a bad one by Lambert. Here's danger. 2 Tigers are there. And it was kicked off the ground by Nichols, I think. Yes, it was. It's a goal. So the Tigers cracked the ton, 100-86.
I was interested in that passage of play of what young Craig Lambert was doing. I think that Greg Williams has really got to tighten up his game. But I was interested just before then, when the boundary throw-in took place. Williams ran down there, but Lambert, who you saw get that ball across quickly, went down and picked up, made a point of picking up Williams. Williams might have to start and play a little bit more defensively on this fellow, because he's a real driving force.
Back into the centre. Richmond win it away again. But Carroll takes it from half-back. Goes out wide. It's one-on-one out there. Oh, nice old push in the back given to Potter from Wilson. The umpire says play on. Wilson does. Gets the hand pass out to Justin Pickering and turn to Mitchell. And this time the umpire's found the free kick, and it will go the Tigers' way to be taken by Justin Pickering at right centre wing.
Things running for the Tigers. They've made their own breaks. Laffy coming up from half-back. He's had a good term too. Lays it off to Palm. Aggressive running from David Palm. He loves this. Long into the forward line on the siren. Will it go through? It's pulled up like a wedge. It's socked off the ground down there by Pickering, but I'm sure the siren went while the ball was halfway to the goal, so it needed to bounce through untouched. It didn't do that, so 3/4 time, 15-10. Richmond leads Sydney 12-14. Goal, third term, puts the Tigers in front by 14 points after they trailed by 9 points at half-time. With his thoughts, here's Don Scott.
Well, this game a little bit reminiscent of the last quarter against Carlton. The Richmond youngsters getting a lot of poise as the game continues, and they're getting a lot of drive from down on that half-back line where Laffy's getting in front. A terrific contest with he and Henwood, but he's doing a lot of things, initiating play, bringing the ball to ground. Also, James down there finishing off. He's running past and delivering the ball well down the ground. Palm blistering through the wing. But they've got players everywhere, Richmond, in that quarter, and they really are capitalising on a lot of good work by Lambert in the centre, who's playing a very attacking game. We'll quickly run through the stats. Kicks in favour of Richmond, and the handballs, yes, I thought maybe Richmond might have been up there, but Sydney in control in that situation. So possession's fairly even. Shots at goal even, but Richmond making better use of the forward play.
And they lead by 14 points. We'll be back in just a moment. Tigers way. Let's go down to Steve Rebellion.
Well, Dennis, Tommy Hafey's pretty disappointed with his boys. Says they're not winning possession even when they have the numbers. As for Kevin Bartlett, well, he simply wants a repeat of the third quarter and says, well, boys, do it for Dale Waitman, who's playing his 200th.
That should be inspiration enough. If you go back to that game against Carlton, Richmond came out strong in the third quarter as well. That's where they won it. In the context of that game, it was a 5-goal term. 5-8 they kicked against Carlton in the third quarter. So after half-time, they're not to be trifled with in a tight game. It was 15 points at quarter time, 9 points at half-time Sydney's way, 7 goals in the third quarter for the Richmond Tigers. And now Sydney looking for a place in the 5. It could be that or the bush. So the stakes are high for the home team, and the crowd well aware of that. So away we go, the final term action. 15-10 to 12-14. Lee got a hand, I think, in the back of a Sydney player. Doesn't matter much. He was shepherded out according to the umpire. So Lee taking the free kick, goes long into the forward line. Tui stood his ground courageously. Cordy gets a hand pass intended for Carroll. Coming through strongly was Justin Pickering. Once more it's Lambert. He snaps towards goal. And this ball sits up obligingly for Kellett, who's content to walk across the goal line. Just checking the stats for Lambert. He was very busy, certainly in that third term, as Tommy Hafey looks a shade exasperated. His kicks to three-quarter time, Lambert, 9. Hand passes, 10. And I'd venture to say 2/3 of them came in the third quarter.
At least, Dennis. The high flyer is Murphy. Relays it to Tui. Tui from the right half-back flank. Bays loses out to Palm. Palm with his centering kick to half forward. Underneath it is Neagle. Lee, beautiful knock on. Mitchell at the back. Opposition from Kellett. Smith from a standing start. Spiral punt kick in towards midfield. And to see Mitchell and Wilson in the road. Peter Wilson will be doing another cartwheel if they get up tonight. Mark Lee. Oh, is that a grab? Not paid by the umpire to Hogg. And the ball safely over the boundary line in front of Lloyd. It'll be a throw in the right forward pocket for Richmond. 14 points the difference. So near gets so far. Pinched by Mitchell in the end. He's kicked 4 goals himself, but a fine contributor to the Tigers. Carroll. Now towards half-back. Pickering couldn't take that one. Gets it out to his brother Michael. And Smith to Bolton. Swans defending desperately. Healy now with a hand pass to Neagle. For a chain off in the midfield, and Kellett gets offloaded as he kicks down towards half forward. Bays out with the ball. Kim in pursuit. The greatest of kicks up to Davis and James. Beautifully done by the latter to get it to Bauer. And a fine smother by Big Smith. Lees. Mitchell nearly had it, couldn't quite control it. Pym went for the shot off the ground, actually gives it to Palm, in turn Waitman, and Waitman goes long, straight down the field for the Tigers, tries to find Honeybun, a couple of hands to it, fires out a hand pass, intercepting is Lloyd, arguably grabbed too high, and he'll take the free kick.
That was superb anticipation there by Lloyd. He sensed the danger, he filled the hole just in the nick of time. Matthew Lloyd from half-back towards half-forward, coming down the big fellow pass and standing his ground in front, the youngster, that's Pym. He takes the mark. He's been lively on the centre wing. Interesting duel with Murphy. Free, juggled mark against quality opposition. Outpointing Bernard Tui that time. Tony Free up and running. Away he goes with speed. Valiant attempt to stop him by Tui. Penetrating kick. Hogg was up. Opportunity now for Pickering. That's Michael Pickering across towards Nichols. And Nichols can't pull it back far enough and misses to the near side.
Well, Sydney not confident when they're going forward. They're tending to go wide. They normally go straight down the centre, but they're not now in the first couple of onslaughts into their forward line. They've gone wide on both occasions and rebounded easily.
15-12 to 12-14 as counter kicks in. Good kick too, straight down the middle, pinpoints it. Got distance and accuracy. Uncontested. Healy takes this mark just inside the centre square. Goes for a long kick. It's a tumbling kick. Palm, who's played a great game, couldn't take the mark. Lambert tidies up. Sweeping hand pass out wide to accommodate Justin Pickering. Draws a man. Wilson. He's got the ball on centre wing.
And playing a great game too, Peter Wilson. His kick to half forward. Out comes Hogg a long way from goal. He's in the centre square at the moment. Out wide, Michael Pickering on his own. And Pickering marks about 45 out. You can see the angle. 14 kicks and 10 handballs, so 24 possessions with 1 goal going for number 2. The goal here would be something that Tom Hafey and the Sydney Swans would not want to see. The trail at the moment, 86 to 102, so that's a deficit of 16. Can he make it 22? Not with that kick. It's 17 points the difference. 1 behind, kicked by Michael Pickering. 86 to 103 now at the SCG. Coming up to the 5-minute mark of the last quarter. Carter looking a little bit exasperated.
Penalised the Swans there, the umpire.
Ball hits the deck. Waitman looking for a free kick after it was knocked down by Justin Pickering. Healy trying to get into the open spaces for the hand pass, with which he finds Mark Kellett. Kellett the half forward. Henwood a strong mark.
Great battle between these two. Laffey and Henwood. Honours that time Henwood's way.
Wayne Henwood. Well held, as those figures would indicate. He's worked hard. Laffey's been his master. Now Henwood. He can kick it a long way. Will kick from inside 50. A lot riding on this kick. Good looking kick. Has it got the carry? Yes, it has. It's a goal to the Swans. 11 points the margin. Free comes out of the centre for Richmond. Long kick into their forward line. Cordy, and one of those nights, couldn't control it. Nichols left without the ball. Away comes Cordy. That was a good pickup. Breaks up towards half back. Chips the ball high towards centre wing. Henwood, another strong attempt to mark. That time he couldn't hang on. Smith beats Potter. Now it's with Williams. He goes down towards the pocket, wide of the target. And James takes the mark at full stretch.
James at right back pocket for Richmond. He'll favour the members stand side. Distance, getting plenty of that with a kick. Smith, oh, he could have marked that. Went for the knock on to Williams. That didn't work out either. And it will be thrown in at the 50-metre mark. See the players' breath there in these rather cool conditions, almost cold. A cool night for Sydney. It's been a high-standard game, though. Been a ripper. Knocked down by Laffey. The recipient is Mitchell. It's a free. Keeps it inside. 25 up and 25 down. That one, Neagle takes the mark. Long way from goal. 2 kicks needed here for a conversion. 2 on 1. About a mark. In fact, the umpires paid it to Michael Pickering. A decision that the Swans fans allowed in their disapproval of. So mark number 9 to Pickering as he's gone out wide to Bauer. In turn to Justin Pickering. Looking for Waitman. Bolton wearing him like a glove. Waitman looking for the free kick. Back to Pickering again. Williams on the boundary line. Nearly runs out of bounds. Was he tripped? Yes, says the umpire, and Williams will take the free kick at the right half-back flank for the Sydney Swans. 8 kicks and 19 handballs. He had about 10 of those in the first quarter. Started well. Big pack of players out there at the moment. Finally shuffled out to Mitchell. He has to try to beat 3 of them. Mark Lee fumbles. Waitman doesn't. Gives it to Palm. Umpire's found a free kick again. What was that for, Dennis?
Don't know. Murphy's got it on centre wing. Thanks for your help, Dennis. Down towards the pocket it goes. Off hands. Mitchell a chance behind. Collided there with Lees. Laffey goes in with courage. Picked up now by Parsons. He snaps. That's a magnificent effort. Oh, didn't miss by much. That went very close. Michael Parsons. The dexterity of a little man, just plucking that ball out and snapping towards goal. Anyone's game now, 15-13 to 13-15. And Richmond must be prepared to ride out a storm. Sydney playing for their survival, really. Short pass comes in. Free takes the mark. Tony Free, top game. Goes looking for Lee. He gets down low and marks on his chest. Mark Lee at right half back. The early going in this final term. Lee a high kick towards centre wing. Pickering's in front over the top Neagle. Michael Pickering, a very good player, gets it to another player who's performed admirably for the Tigers. Having said that, of course, that's their cue. Craig Lambert pops it out of bounds. Kick will be taken by Carroll from half back. Back towards centre wing. Potter in from the side. What a top mark that was.
Great mark.
Great mark.
Yes, Murphy's taken some good ones. That was the most courageous I think we've seen this evening. On the rebound is Mitchell as Palm to Justin Pickering. Goes straight down the ground. Player on his own out there is Ryan. Can he make it 3 goals? He got 2 in the third quarter from 35 metres out. I think he might have missed. 1 behind. That certainly would have made things difficult for the Sydney Swans. 13-15 to 15-14. They trail effectively by 2 goals. They need that much to get in front. Rod Carter goes in short to Dennis Carroll. Carroll to the half-back line. Honeybunt. Smith. Good tackle. Mitchell to Michael Pickering. And turn to Bauer. Bauer's kick is short. And a courageous mark taken down there too by Lloyd. It's the hand pass away to Carroll. Not a long kick. He can certainly kick it a lot better than that. 51 is Pym with the long sleeves. Pym up towards half forward. Ball hits the deck again. Now a chance for Nichols if he can gather it in. He does so beautifully. But the kick is off target, unfortunately, for Richmond. Out of bounds, right forward pocket.
Sydney Swans have made another change coming off the bench. Batterson, he's gone to half forward, and Bay's going off.
Well, we haven't seen too much of Adrian Batterston tonight. Whether he's 100% fit, we don't know. Honeybunt loses that one out. Picked up by Cordy. Attempted smother down there by Ryan was partially successful. Now he gets the crumbs himself. Waitman shoots. And Hogg making no attempt to mark the ball. Sees it go through for 1 behind. So a point. 15-15 it is now to 13-15. 2 even goals.
And Carroll will kick it in. Dennis Carroll favouring the outer side. Good kick too, and Lloyd runs back to take the mark. He's been resolute in defence. Pushing off Nichols out there. Matthew Lloyd from right half back. Kicks across centre towards half forward. Over the top Wilson, couldn't hang on. Henwood crashes into Laffey. Wilson hand passes in front of his body. And the ball crosses the boundary line. Bartlett on the phone. 4th victory. Staring these Tigers in the face. Lee and Henwood. 1 away by the taller man. Williams, brilliantly done. Hurried kick back towards half forward. Palm, he's been a star in defence, loses it this time. Batterston pulls it down towards the pocket. Out in front is Parsons, but the boundary line is too near, and the ball will be thrown in. So a 7-goal third quarter set this thing up for Richmond. And now doing a real dogfight. Boundary throw in, approaching the midway mark of the term. Parsons will do the ruck work down there. Lee comes from behind. Parsons backward of the pack. Laffey goes in. Tries to knock it back towards the boundary line. Lee off the ground. Some tired players in there. Batterston. Well done again by Palm. Shovels the hand pass across to the run of Wilson. Wilson goes towards the outer side wing. Awkward bounce for Lloyd. It favours Nichols behind. He runs away from Tui. Good pressure by Tui. Awkward bounce there for Honeybunt. Coming through was Ryan. Going against the tide was Kellett. He's surrounded, outnumbered 3-1. Gets it across to support, though, and they still work it forward. Weighted numbers telling the story for the Swans.
Carroll to Neagle. 15-metre hand pass taken by Healy. And Lee takes it, but it's holding the ball. Free kick going Lambert's way.
I thought Healy got rid of it on that occasion.
Lambert short of centre field. Doesn't really gain too much with the kick. Mark taken by Honeybunt. So importantly for Richmond, the Tigers retaining possession. Honeybunt from right centre wing. On a leader's hog. Oops. Mitchell in the wars as the mark is taken by Lloyd. Goes to the outer side. Underneath it is Murphy. Wearing him pretty closely is Pym. Murphy finally wins through. That was well played. Short pass. Potter to Carter. What's he doing down there? He gets bowled over for a start. Picked up by Palmer. Rod Carter, 55 metres out, will have a shot at goal. I don't think he'll kick it from there, but he's on the right half forward flank.
Could kick his second career goal here, Peter.
Not with that kick. It's not a bad one distance-wise, though. It's a good centering one. Knocked down by Laffey, but Richmond have the numbers. Bauer getting a hand to it was Mark Kellett. Swans badly need a goal. Carroll gives it back to Kellett. Now Merv Neagle with the centering kick, but they haven't really gained much. In fact, they've lost the ball. Wilson tries to paddle it to a teammate through Pickering. He was grabbed when not in possession. One would think should get a free kick. So Michael Pickering at half-back. 16 kicks he's had so far. That's a splendid effort. Ball booted away by Bauer. Up to Pym. Pym around from left half forward. And a good safe mark taken by Cordy on the run, and he'll get the Swans clear.
He looks a very good player, this Pym, but he's got to watch what he does with the ball. It's not enough simply to get it. He's got to finish it off. When he does that, he's going to be an outstanding player. Over the ball is Bolton, and there is Mitchell off the ground by Carroll. Out wide. Opportunity now for Tui. Tui close to the boundary line. Claimed by Justin Pickering. Was he pushed in the back? Not according to the umpire. Tui battles on manfully, and it's out of bounds and will be thrown in. Tui slow to get up. Not surprising. Gee, he works.
I think you said it before, there are a few tired players out there, more than just a few.
15-15 to 13-15. Marvellous performance by the Tigers. Slow to start. And there's going to be a free out there. Is there? No. Play goes on. Thought I heard a whistle.
So did I.
This is Waitman. Oblivious to all of that. He hooks it back towards centre wing. Waiting behind Pym. Does he finish it off this time? Penetrating kick is a beauty, and he finds Honeybunt. Well, he learnt by the lesson of his previous disposal. That time he looked down the ground and he found the big centre half forward.
Dennis Carroll just too loose now up in that back line for the Sydney Swans. He's let a couple of times his opponents get away. As Bayes is coming back onto the ground and going off Nagel.
A goal here by Richmond. I wouldn't say would seal it, but it would make it pretty difficult for Sydney to get up. With less than 10 minutes to go, David Honeybunt right on the 50-metre line. Won't score a goal. Michael Pickering takes the mark. And he'll kick from about 10 metres out. He's already kicked one goal. And as we watch the mark and kick again. The only one that really had a chance. It's a goal.
Worrying about their opponent.
The reason play hasn't restarted, they haven't got the ball.
He really is a remarkable mark for his size, isn't he, Michael Pickering?
Very sticky hands.
Yeah. Well, he's taken 83 marks for the year before this game, so
just at your fingertips, isn't it? That sort of
not a big
information.
fellow.
Merv Neagle on the bench. He was replaced just a few minutes ago by Bayes. But the Swans staring defeat in the face at the moment. Clock showed we've been playing 18.5 minutes. Finally back into the centre. Smith wins that one from Lee. But Richmond getting it out of the centre, something they weren't doing in the first quarter. Pym's kick. Tries to find Nichols with it. Mitchell, he's been very dangerous on the forward line. Has kicked 4 goals so far. He won't score with that one, but he could put it down to an assist. And if this fellow kicks it, Honeybunt. Beautiful pass. So David Honeybunt, a chance to really put the nail in the coffin. And Another big upset coming up for the Tigers. Not many went for them today, or tonight. But obviously they like playing under lights, because it was in similar conditions they defeated Carlton a couple of weeks back. And that is the sealer, David Honeybun. Yet another Richmond player to score a goal.
Well, this is a great effort by this Richmond side, because when you consider that Sydney have got a lot more to gain out of this game than what the Richmond side do. They've got a chance of 5th position, and you really would think that they'd go about it. They started well, but then they've just lost their act, and Richmond, I suppose, credit to them, they've really fought their way back into this game, and the Richmond team can be proud of their efforts tonight, because they're really gaining in confidence the longer this game's gone.
David Honeybun, the 11th Richmond player to score a goal, and the difference is now 4, 13-15 to 17-15.
Here's Kellett up from half-back. The man who got Honeybun the ball, Michael Mitchell, just has so much foot speed. That's the danger of him. Davis does well, gets it out to Henwood. He's pushed off the ball. Lambert was pushed in the back, was he? Yes, he was, and he'll take the free kick. Slow whistle, but the umpire, I think, looking to pay advantage if Lambert was able to get the ball out. So Lambert, what a second half he's had, in particular that third quarter. It was inspiring. The youngster. To the members' side, Mitchell, almost the mark, couldn't hang on. Roving for Mitchell was Lee. He sockers it off the ground, taken by Potter. Healy couldn't find it. Now Bolton, inside 50, David Bolton, long towards full forward, pack into the air. And conceding the behind is Wilson. Heady stuff at this stage. No need to take any risks at all. It seems Richmond are home as we pass 20 minutes gone. 17-15 to 13-16. It will take something special for Sydney to get back. Not impossible, but from what we've seen so far, highly unlikely, as Pickering boots towards centre field and Healy takes the mark on his chest.
And they need to get those goals quickly. 19 kicks and 10 handballs. Certainly one of Sydney's best if we take those stats into consideration. It's 3-on-1 out there. Pickering, Laffey finally shovels it out to Justin Pickering and to Mark Lee. Ultimately from Lambert around towards centre wing, and a great mark taken by Mitchell, and that could be 50 metres. Very close to it, certainly, against Lloyd. The Tigers play on. Lee covering plenty of territory. Into the pocket it comes. Honeybun overruns it. Potter fumbles at the crucial moment. The opportunity is for Nichols. He appeared to be grabbed when he didn't have it. The whistle has gone, but it's going to be a Swans free kick, and it will be taken by Potter. Not many Swans running at the moment. Carroll at half back, marking in front of Pym. Now to Healy. Chips it in short to the centre. Murphy doesn't get it. Bauer does. It's going to be Murphy's kick. Murphy to put the Swans into attack. They need goals quickly. They could have been in 5th spot had they won tonight. It would appear that is not going to be the case. Tui marks right on the 50-metre line. He certainly missed a player of the calibre of Tony Morwood up in the goal square tonight. Tommy Hafey's run out of numbers, really. And run out of options, whichever way you'd like to look at it. Into the goal square, off the hands of Mark Lee. I thought I heard a whistle. I think somebody in the crowd might have one. 95 to 117. That picture tells the story, doesn't it? It's a real short kick out. The mark is taken by Justin Pickering in front of Craig Davis. And he kicks it in turn to James. So the Tigers going through the motions at the moment. Very confident that they've got their 4th win of the season coming up.
Yes, just running the clock down at the present time. Sometimes a young side can stop. No sign of that at the present time. Some more magic from Mitchell, who appear to be held without it. No free kick. Well played there by the Swans. It was knocked out to Healy by Tui. Healy tries to knock it on. Sock it off the ground by Wilson. Honeybun has been a valuable contributor in this final term. Getting back in the race, Smith opposed by Lee. Sock it off the ground again by Wilson. Cordy coming up to meet the ball. Nichols coming to meet him. Off the ground by Cordy. Opportunity for Murphy through the middle. Great tackle by Pym. Dragged him off the hand pass. Strong tackle on Lambert down there by Bays. Sock it out of midair by Wilson. And the West Australian connection figuring. It comes to Mitchell, who clinches it.
5 goals to Michael Mitchell. And he kicked Richmond's 18th. Wilson goes forward again. The Tigers finishing full of running. Picked up by Tui. So it's a 150th game milestone that he would prefer to forget, as it has turned out. Though he's played a very serviceable game himself. Swans leading at the first two changes. Richmond have been on top after half-time. Set up by a 7-goal one third term. Knocked down by Honeybun. Lloyd's kick towards centre wing. Picking it up is Batterston. To Lee. Bad hand pass. Palm. Over to Ryan. Plenty of pace. Long striding. Hits the post. Would have been his third goal. Not to be. Scoreboard 13-17 to 18-16 now. The Swans managing only one goal so far, 1 goal 3 in the final quarter. It hasn't been good enough. Mark is taken by Cordy, but we'll have the kick in again, it looks like. So not a happy night for the Sydney fans. Carter, spiral punt kick into midfield. Knocked down by Ryan again. Going through solidly Lloyd. Just gets rid of it in time. The recipient of the hand pass is Carroll. Good smother by Lee. Ball rebounding up to midfield. Batterston goes down in front of Palm. Beautiful spin out. Just gets caught as he turned the wrong way ultimately. And the free kick against Palm for holding the ball will be taken by Batterston. Out towards Cordy. He'll get one on the back. Socket away by Pym. Out to Mitchell, who's been brilliant. And showing plenty of speed. Beautifully done from Mitchell, the West Australian, up the half forward. And a fine mark has been taken by Holt. It's Honeybun.
Big last quarter.
He has had a great last quarter, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
He's done this in a couple of games, David Honeybun.
Well, those stats, Don, most of them would be in this last quarter. He's already got 1 goal to his credit. So the Swans finishing quite the running that the Tigers have at the moment. It's Honeybun from 55 out. That's a beautiful kick. He's got plenty of distance in that, but just off target and through for only 1 behind, taking the scoreboard to 18-17 to 13-17. 5 goals the difference.
I think it's safe to say those sides who are looking ahead and perhaps penciling in Richmond as a victory in the run home will be thinking again. An unpredictable side, but they can be a very good side, a hard-working team as Carter goes straight down the middle. Carroll up in front, knocked away. Carroll recovers. 1:43 and counting down. A deal of mist hanging over the Sydney cricket ground. Matches the disposition, I think, of the Sydney Swans supporters at the moment. This is Williams from centre wing towards half forward. Golden opportunity missed tonight by the Swans, but full credit to Richmond. Lee is over the top. This is Michael Pickering. What a wonderful game he's played. Out wide he comes. Lee's got it. Mitchell breaks inside. That's ignored. They're getting runners free in behind half back a lot tonight. This is Nichols from 40 metres out. Long raking kick. It's another one.
His third.
They're finishing all over the top of the Sydney Swans, and they've pulled away. It's going to be a big win.
And what a great kick by that little fellow there. Here Lee setting it up, but he's steady, deliberate, 50 metres, 45, and bang, what a magnificent kick. Terrific kick from that distance out on an acute angle and running with the ball. He slowed down, gave himself every opportunity. Well done, Trent.
So the Tiger Cubs doing it well. 19-17 to 13-17. Knocked out by Lee. And again they go forward, but the rebound comes to Bays. Lobs it to half forward. Lambert late on the scene, and the mark is taken by Williams about 45 metres out from goal, directly in front. So the Brownlow medalist going back for a shot. 11 kicks at 19 handballs. Well, he started sensationally. I think he had 10 handballs in the first quarter. What's he worried about? Obviously not them. They're a long way from him. Greg Williams, 45 metres out, directly in front for his first goal of the night. And touched right on the line, so 1 behind. 35 points the difference. It is indeed not Sydney's night. Tom Hafey outfoxed by one of his former players, it would appear, in Kevin Bartlett. Tui late on the scene. Goes for the boundary line. There's the siren. Picked up by Batterston, but his kick won't count. It's not a score anyway.
Haven't seen much of him, but he's back on target tonight, the Tiger. Just checking the final scoreline then. We're showing 19-17 to 13-18. Chris Pym coming off, a youngster with a big future. In fact, a lot of these youngsters maturing by the week, and I'm sure Kevin Bartlett would be absolutely delighted. And some of the senior players leading by example. A couple in there. There's one, Michael Mitchell, David Palm. Delighted too. They've been through some pretty thin times, but the Tigers are regrouping, it seems. 5 points. So after half-time, we saw 4 goals to the Sydney Swans and 11 to Richmond, and I guess that tells the story of the night's play. A really courageous performance, this by the Tigers tonight, guys.
We're a bit superstitious. We're just looking through the records, Dennis. We've seen Richmond have won 4 games, Don, and we've seen them win 3
of them, so I think we better do a few more for them. But it was a game of 2 halves, but Richmond really did blitz the opposition in that second half. They scored 74 points to 30, and it's very hard to find a good Sydney Swans player after half-time. Maybe Jared Healy, but Richmond had a lot, and I think the move of Lambert going into the centre, what I liked about Lambert's game was the fact that he went and picked up Williams and then played off Williams. Although Williams still gathered a lot of possession, I think that, well, I know that Lambert's contribution on the night was greater than that of Williams, but they had a lot of other good players. David Palm, I haven't seen him play as well.
Too,
well, that's an interesting game because, you know, he was ruck raving. They were playing wide of one another, Healy and Pickering, but Pickering, another great game. Also, Stephen James, a quiet last quarter, but his first 3 quarters, he really did finish off well. But Wilson there, he continued on from last week. He was probably Richmond's best player last week against St Kilda, and really does add a lot of fire, enthusiasm, but his disposal leaves a little bit to be desired. But Michael Mitchell, a terrific game tonight. We didn't see him tackle as what he normally does, but his finishing work, and he was really reading the ball well off the packs and
kept it up with 5 goals.
It was a tremendous effort. They had some really great players tonight. We'll quickly run through the statistics. Kicks in favour of Richmond, 208. The handballs, 128, 114, an interesting one again. Hit-outs, very even, but Mark Lee started to get on top when he went onto the ball in the second quarter, and he was a real driving force for them. And shots at goal in favour of the Richmond team, naturally, 38 to 32.
Thank you, Don. Thank you, Peter. We'll be back with more from the Sydney Cricket Ground right after this break. Has defeated Sydney by 35 points. Let's go down now to the Richmond rooms, and here's Steve Rebellion.
Dennis, they're very happy, Richmond rooms too, and Kevin Bartlett's happy. That's 3 out of 5, and your reserves won tonight too.
Yes, it's a very good result for the club, Steve. We were very pleased with the performance of the players tonight, and also some of the boys in the reserves who have been long-term injury boys who have come back into our reserve side. So we're very pleased with the night's proceedings.
It could have been a grand final win, the way the boys were singing in the rooms a few moments ago. Very happy.
Yes, well, we have won 3 games out of our last 5, and prior to the start of the season we had only won 5 games out of our previous 33. So I feel that over the last 5 weeks that we have shown that we are on the improve. We have a direction, and the players are responding, and they're learning all the time. We have a very, very young side, but they're very enthusiastic.
What must also be encouraging was that when they got to the front, they finished off well.
Yes, well, we played, I suppose, a similar game against Carlton a couple of weeks ago, where it was tight, and after half-time, you know, the chips were down and they came through. I was very, very pleased with the way they finished on.
Congratulations tonight, and good luck for next week.
Thank you very much, Steve.
Back to you, Dennis.
So the Tigers join Fitzroy and St Kilda on 4 wins, but percentage keeps them at the foot of the table. We'll be back shortly. Cricket Ground, Richmond victorious. Let's take a look at the league ladder, and we see them move to 4 wins at the foot, as you can see, but they don't move off last rung. They join St Kilda and Fitzroy, but all attention at the top of the table, really, as it should be. Hawthorn have 44. Alan Joyce doing a great job with the Hawks. Collingwood 40. Lee Matthews likewise. Melbourne 40. Carlton 36. In a slump, they've lost their last 2, and the Eagles with 24. It seems nobody wants to get in there and be 5th. At this stage, Sydney a golden opportunity tonight, and they blew it. Tomorrow, round 14 continues. Fitzroy and North Melbourne at VFL Park. The big one, Carlton and Collingwood. That should be a great game. Another vital game out of the Western Oval. Footscray take on Hawthorn, and Footscray a chance in that game. Geelong play Melbourne. That's an important one at Cardinia Park. Geelong's record at Cardinia Park this season has been very disappointing. And at Windy Hill, another vital game. Essendon against the West Coast Eagles. On Sunday, up at Carrara, Brisbane, not out of the hunt as yet. They take on St Kilda. And more football on Tuesday. Another big game, the State of Origin clash at Subiaco Oval, Western Australia against Victoria. And of course, that's on 7 as well. Just talking about this game again, in retrospect, Richmond, you've seen them win a few games now, Don. How good are they? Could they be the spoilers of the competition in the run home?
Well, I think if you're a Richmond supporter, you'll have your highs and lows for the remainder of the season, because they're a young side, they're a talented side, but they're not consistent. And this is what young fellows do. They go up and down week after week. They've put it together in 2 out of 3 weeks now.
Well, they won't make the 5, Dennis, but judging by what we've seen over the last few weeks, we saw them beat the Eagles, Carlton, and now the Swans. They'll certainly have a say in shaping it.
And Sydney are gone?
Oh, no, I wouldn't discount anybody in football at the moment.
You've learnt your lesson, haven't you?
Okay, thanks, fellas, for being so demonstrative there and so definite. The final score at the Sydney Cricket Ground, 1917 to 13-18 Richmond. Congratulations to them. An outstanding victory. Thanks for your company. Good night.
This has been a 7 Sport presentation for the Australian Television Network.